Howdy, Brazos Valley. This is Hayden Riley, broker with Inhabit Real Estate Group, with your MLS update. This is where I go over the previous month's real estate statistics to share with you what has been going on in the Brazos Valley. And keep in mind that this information is general information provided by the Texas Association of Realtors, by the Bryan College Station MLS, and by the Texas Real Estate Center. It is general information for the entire area. If you'd like to know how this applies specifically to you, please feel free to reach out to me at haydenriley.com or on Facebook at Hayden Riley Realtor. Without any further ado, why don't we go ahead and get started? All right, y'all, it is November, which means we're going over October's numbers. These numbers are coming from the MLS, which covers a 7-county area, at least the first 3 slides. And then we'll look at Bryan and College Station specifically, and then we'll take a look a little further down the road with market activity. So let's go ahead and first take a look at the average days on market. All right, so as you can see, first of all, let's talk about the lines. The red line is 2022, yellow 2021. You can see that we are trending a lot lower in days on market this year than we did last year. You can also see that we are even lower than our pre-pandemic years, which is the purple and gray lines. Those are 2018 and 2019, and even further below when the pandemic began back in 2020. Now, it seems that we're kind of coming back up from a period where our inventory was really, really low, and now we're starting to take on more inventory. We're also seeing higher interest rates, so fewer people, a little bit less people buyers are putting contracts on houses. So this kind of culminates into a higher number of average days on market. Now, I wouldn't be concerned at this point yet, because typically the 120-day mark is where we're closer to, say, a balanced market where neither buyer nor seller has an advantage over each other. And so we're well below that mark. And our typical mark, at least over the last 5 years, has been below that 120-day mark anyway. So, really, this signifies that we are still very much in an active real estate market, just not as active as we were last year or in our previous months this year. Now we're taking a look at the units sold, otherwise known as closed transactions. And as you can see, 2021 was a record-setting year. Hard to deny that. The perfect storm of low inventory, low interest rates, and lots of buyers. So now the interest rates have changed. The buyers haven't. I mean, there's still a lot of buyers who are out there, but the inventory has changed. We've definitely a lot more inventory to choose from. So that'll naturally give us a little bit slower real estate market. But as you can see, again, we're looking at the red line relative to our pre-pandemic numbers, the gray and the purple. We are still much higher on average for the year than we were pre-pandemic. 277 relative to 222 or 217 in the month of October. Now, yes, we were a little bit lower than we were in 2020 and 2021, but once again, we're not in that perfect storm anymore. I think we're coming back down to quote-unquote normal, if you can say there is a normal in real estate. So next, we're going to take a look at the new listings taken. As you can see from this particular graph, we start the year, or at least we have the last 5 years, kind of a hodgepodge of starts. We've started as low as 360 new listings taken and as high as 538. There's not really a heck of a lot of rhyme and reason to that, but one thing that does happen fairly quickly fairly commonly, is we have a peak in April or a peak in March. And that's because most people who have the choice of when they're going to list their property for sale will list then to take advantage of the buying season in spring and summer. Now this year we had a two abnormal months. One was May and one was June, and those happened to be the months where builders put a lot of inventory on the market at the same time. But otherwise, this year, we've pretty much stayed on trend, at least from March, March, April, July through, today. So we're at 402, which is actually slightly higher than we were in previous years. But you can see we are definitely following that trend of declining new listings taken. And I have a feeling we'll start off high again when 2023 rolls around. So let's see if I'm right whenever that day comes. Now, as I'd mentioned at the beginning, this particular statistic just covers Bryan and College Station, and it's from the Texas Real Estate Center. The median price point for the two cities is $300,210, which is up 10.4%. We finally crossed that $300,000 threshold. Our active listings are up 56.1% compared to last year. So, like I said, the inventory has definitely come up. Days on market is actually higher than what the average days on market is for the 7-county area at 96. And our price distribution, this is our new normal, where the lion's share of active listings are between 200 and 300,000, and the next category is 300 to 400,000. And the reason that we're seeing that is just the increase in the property value, or I can't use the word value, but prices of homes. And so, these properties that are below this $200,000 threshold are snatched up pretty quickly, which is why we don't see a lot of them on the market anymore. Closed sales down 1.5% compared to this time last year. Our months of inventory, 2.4 months of inventory. And just a friendly reminder, 6 months of inventory is our marker, our line of demarcation for when we move into more of a balanced market. So, do keep that in mind. Yes, we have more inventory now than we did this time last year, but we still have a very low amount of inventory out there. So, if you'd like some more information about what months of inventory means, you can look at previous videos that I've put up or give me a shout. I'm more than happy to go over that with you. And last but not least, this is my attempt at least to try to look to the future, maybe perhaps a crystal ball, to look at how many properties went under contract in the previous weeks as a percentage of the total active listings that we have, just to determine, okay, what percentage of our properties are coming off the market each week. Because usually when a residential property goes under contract, it's going to close. So we had 88 residential properties that went under contract, 1,014 total active listings, and this is for last week, which means 8.7% of the total listings came off the market. And that is a very active market. Now, I know you're looking at the graph down below and you're like, hey, well, Hayden, the blue line, this is 2022. We're lower than we were last year. Well, as you've seen from the previous statistics, we've been lower. We've been different than last year in all the categories, because last year, as I'd mentioned earlier, was kind of the perfect storm. Now, are we going to see 30% of our market come off in 1 week? Probably not. We're just not, because the inventory's climbing. Our interest rates are high compared to where we were last year. So I think we're, experiencing a normal amount of activity. Normal being kind of where we were this time in 2019, 2018. So not to fret. Now, what does this mean for each of you folks individually? Feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to talk to you offline. You can either give me a phone call. There's a link down below where you can schedule time and we can talk about your individual situation. Otherwise, I hope this has been helpful. And if I don't talk to you, I hope you guys have a very happy and safe Thanksgiving. Take care.